Just 1 second ago, we had a magnitude 3.3 at the Campi Flegrei supervolcano in Naples, Italy. Hi everyone, I was just working on another volcano video that has erupted today when I saw this earthquake. So I thought I'll give you an update because we see more and more earthquakes in this swarm getting to magnitude 3, towards to magnitude 3, at magnitude 3 and above magnitude 3. Look at this current list here. So the thing is, I've said it for weeks, this current earthquake swarm, and to me, this is one swarm that has been going on for at least 6 weeks, despite the fact that the government says, oh, it has ended, then three hours later, the new one has started. No, look at this. November 25th, 3.3, we had a 1.6, a 1.0, and the list goes down, right? We just had a 3.0 on the 22nd. Then if you go down to the 19th, 2.5, 2.7. So these are all, we're getting more in the higher ranges, and we know what that means. If you have like more of magnitude 3, you could see a magnitude 4. And guys, this thing is really creeping towards something, in my opinion. And I have reported my video about that conference with all the experts that was held in the area just a few days ago, where the scientists shared the latest information about Campi Flegrei and that they were very worried about a probability of a phreatic eruption at the Campi Flegrei area. And guys, we know, even if it's a smaller eruption, it can be devastating because people live right on top of the volcano. And also today, the new INGV bulletin has come out, and that kind of shows us this increasing trend of earthquakes, because we're having more earthquakes. And the bulletin states, in the week from November 17th to November 23rd, we had 110 earthquakes at Campi Flegrei. That's a lot. They also confirmed that the land still keeps rising at this increased rate of 2.5 centimeters per month. So this wasn't just a quick lift and then it goes back to like 1.5 or something like this. No, it remains that high. And if something's that high and the land rise, this keeps crackling the crust. And that's why we see earthquakes. What about geochemistry? Well, they confirm the rising trend. More gas emissions, temperatures are rising. In the Solfatara, the Fumarole temperature is still that high, hasn't eased down, 173 degrees Celsius, despite the fact that it's raining a lot there, which usually brings the temperature measurements down because the measuring instruments are 5 meters away from the actual Fumarole. But no, it remains that high. The question is it even higher in reality already? Colder temperatures there right now. So you see the graphs. This is absolutely crazy. Let's have a look at the current epicenter of the magnitude 3.3. That epicenter is not a surprise. It's right where we have the Solfatara area, where we have most of the epicenters of the earthquakes, where I recently reported a video about the study that we have a new fault that is forming there, and the earthquakes are lining up along that fault, and that fault could give way to the surface for the magma. So if you want to see that video, I have a Campi Flegrei playlist. I'll put it in the end screen here. Very interesting studies. They keep coming day by day. So a 3.3 there. This is alarming, guys. We can't word it in any other way. Maybe you have seen my video about the evacuations that have happened in the past. They did evacuate Pozzuoli 2 times in the 1970s and in the 1980s. In the 1970s, if you want to see that video, it's in the end screen as well. They forcefully removed people from Rione Terra, that's a part of Pozzuoli, with the military. People were crying, they were devastated. So of course, this sits in the back of the heads of the people that live there, the elderly. They don't want to go through that again because they were displaced for quite a long time and then nothing happened, right? That's the problem they have here in this area. When is the right time to call for an evacuation? In Greek and Roman mythology, the Campi Flegrei volcano is depicted as the opening to the underworld. Campi Flegrei translated means the burning fields. Because, of course, there were we know that prehistoric eruptions of Campi Flegrei blocked out the sun, turning summer into winter, covering Europe and Russia in thick volcanic ash. And now this powerful volcanic seismic giant near Naples, more than 6 million people in the greater Naples area, is stirring so much, again, shaking the ground in a way that scientists say it hasn't for centuries. It hasn't since the last eruption of Monte Nuovo in 1538. Two of the strongest earthquakes they have ever seen happened this year. Magnitude 4.6, and not only one, but two. Had this major earthquake swarm in February. And the scientists make it clear, and the facts are clear. For everyone to survive an eruption at Campi Flegrei, probably coming from the area where we have that epicenter today, right now, over 500,000 people would have to be evacuated from an area that Italian authorities have marked as the red zone around the Campi Flegrei's 8-mile wide crater. Scientists make it clear there are really no countermeasures to protect yourself from the pyroclastic flow of volcanic particles and ash, even if it's not a magmatic eruption. We're talking about a pyroclastic explosion with volcanic rocks and matter that are superheated to 1,470 degrees Fahrenheit. That is absolutely crazy, and they come out with speeds like bullets. That would cover a terrain at a speed of 30 to 60 miles per hour. This would spread over the area. That's why this is so crucial. Of course, we think that the likelihood of a supervolcanic eruption is not given right now. But something like Monte Nuovo, I mean, guys, we also have to consider when they evacuated 40,000 people from Pozzuoli in the 1970s. Pozzuoli is now 80,000 people. Construction continued, lots of illegal structures that just built there. That's why they're scared to apply for the government program to seismically upgrade their homes because they don't have permits. So the homes stay vulnerable. Most of the Campi Flegrei supervolcano is underground. We don't see it. It's not towering like Vesuvius. It spans a large area of land and sea in the water near Naples. I want to show you these pictures of these underwater buoys that they have to measure what's going on there. Because if there was an eruption in the water, that would even be more dangerous if magma mixes with water. And a tsunami would race towards the coast of Naples right away. The town of Pozzuoli sits basically on the epicenter inside the volcanic crater. If the volcano erupts, more than 500,000 people would need it to be evacuated from the red zone. But this sentence contradicts itself. If the volcano erupts, it's too late to evacuate. So all their evacuation plans, they're hoping for 72 hours warning time, but a phreatic eruption can come without a warning. But what the volcano's doing right now, is this a warning? Shouldn't they see this as a warning? If any other volcano did something like this, with the land rise, with the earthquakes, with the increased temperatures, they would say, oh, this could erupt anytime soon. But here at Campi Flegrei, nothing is, well, I don't want to say nothing. They just had an evacuation rehearsal where for the first time, they named it for a volcanic eruption risk. Before, they were only talking about, earthquakes, if the homes collapse, yada, yada, yada. So that is just the red zone, 500,000 people, where they would be in danger of the pyroclastic flow, volcanic particles and ash. But more than 800,000 people live in the yellow zone, and they would also be exposed to significant volcanic ash fallout and risk. right? So this is absolutely crazy. That's why the Campi Flegrei volcano is considered a national threat for the explosive style of its eruptions. And scientists do believe that it could create an eruptive column, like a kind of cloud of ash and dust that could rise at least 18 miles to the sky and spread on the wind everywhere. The way it could collapse roofs. Vesuvius, of course, is the best known volcano in the area, but the truth is, the much less visible Campi Flegrei has a more devastating potential than Vesuvius. Because now hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people live right in the area or even on top of this volcano. This 8-mile white crater left by past eruptions. Guys, I will keep you updated about this earthquake swarm. If you want to see all the latest studies, or if you want to know more about the past eruptions, check the video here in the end screen or have a look at my playlist. If you want to know about erupting volcanoes, landslides, whatever, tsunamis, or 3i Atlas, subscribe. Please hype this video, like it, share it with your friends. Stay safe, guys. And if you want to support the channel, link is in the description. Thank you so much. See you soon.